All right, for today, we're going to be looking at adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials. So what I'm going to do in addition, let's take a look at question number 1. For addition, let me copy my polynomials without parentheses. The first polynomial, I'm just going to write it as x plus 2x to the fourth plus 8x squared. Because of the plus sign, the second polynomial, I'm going to write it as it is as well. It's going to write plus 5x plus 6 minus 7x to the fourth. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine my like terms. Starting with the highest exponent. My highest exponent is to the fourth. I'm just going to add the coefficients, the big numbers in front of the x. So 2 minus 7, let me call that negative 5x to the fourth. After x to the fourth, I should find an x to the third. I don't have any. Then x to the second, I only have this one. So plus 8x to the second. Then x to the 1, I have x plus 5, 1 plus 5. That gives me 6x. And then plus 6. Now let's take a look at subtraction. Question number 3. The first polynomial, I'm going to write it as it is. 6v to the fourth plus 2 minus 5v to the third. Because of the minus sign, the signs of the second polynomial, I'm going to change all of them. So if it's a minus, I'm going to change it to plus. If it is a plus, I'm going to change it to minus. So I'm going to write this as minus 7v minus 2 plus 6v to the third. Now let me combine my like terms. The biggest exponent that I see is to the fourth. So I'm going to write 6v to the fourth. Then v to the third, I see negative 5 plus 6. That happens to be positive 1. So I'm going to write plus v to the third. I don't have to write the 1, just v to the third. Then v to the second, I don't see any. Then I see minus 7v. And then lastly, I have 2 minus 2, which is 0. So I'm not going to write my 0. And that's it. That's how we add or subtract polynomials. Now let's take a look at multiplication. Let me start with number 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute the first term, or my first polynomial, I'm going to multiply it to every term on the second polynomial. Remember, numbers, we multiply numbers the way we multiplied. And when we come to letters, we add the exponents. So 7n times 3n, that is 21n to the second. Remember, 7 times 3 is 21. On the n's, I added the exponents. Now 7n times 3, that gives me plus 21n. Now the second term, let me distribute the 5. 5 times 3n, that gives me plus 15n. 5 times 3, that gives me plus 15. Now I'm going to combine my like terms. My biggest exponent is 21n to the second, the only one that I see. Now, when it comes to n, 21 plus 15, that is plus 36n. And lastly, plus 15. Now, let's take a look at my example number 7. I'm going to distribute, let me have a blue so we don't get confused. The 2x squared, I'm going to multiply it to every term on the second parentheses. So 2x squared plus times 4x squared, that gives me 8x to the fourth. Remember, 2 times 4, multiplying numbers, I'm just multiplying the way we always multiplied. When it comes to variables, I'm going to add the exponents. When it comes to letters, I add the exponents. Now, 2x squared times 6x, that gives me plus 12x to the third. Now, 2x squared times a negative 7, that gives me negative 14x to the second. Now, let me distribute the negative 3x, the second term. I'm going to distribute it to the second parentheses. That gives me negative 12x to the third minus 18x to the second plus 21x. Once again, numbers just multiply that way you always multiplied. When it comes to letters, you add the exponents. Now let me distribute the 4 to everything on the second parentheses. That should give me plus 16x to the second plus 24x minus 28. Now I'm going to finish by combining like terms. The biggest exponent is x to the fourth. So I'm just going to write 8x to the fourth. Now when it comes to x to the third, I see 12 minus 12. 12 minus 12 is 0, so that cancels out. Now when it comes to x to the second, I see negative 14 minus 18 plus 16. Negative 14 minus 18 plus 16, that gives me negative 16x to the second. Now when it comes to just x, that's 21 plus 24. That gives me 45x minus 28. That's it.